Hi YouTube, Happy New Year. New year means new content, and I'm starting this year off with a law video for you guys, and I'm super excited to give you these tips because I wish I had these tips when I was in law school, so I know they're gonna be beneficial to you. And I am here to share all the tea about the classes that you need to take when you're in law school. So without further ado, let's get into this video.
What you settling for? Yeah, we ballin', we settling score. You know I need that scene.
So I remember when I was in law school, I had no idea which law school classes to take, except for, you know, those regular required courses that you have to take your 1L year. But other than that, like my second and third year, I was absolutely lost, running around with my head cut off because I had no idea what law class to take. And I've said this time and time, but if you are new here, I am a first-generation law student, so I didn't have my mom or dad or my aunt or anyone to tell me like, hey, you should take these classes. It was literally me just figuring out law school by myself. And now that I graduated and I am working and I'm in my career, I'm looking back at my law school experience and I'm like, I should have did A, B, C, and D. And I'm gonna share that information with you guys so you guys aren't out here looking foolish. Okay, so I'm breaking it down into 7 classes that you need to take in law school. I know people like numbers, so there you are, 7 classes. Here we go. Class number 1 that you need to take while you're in law school, you need to take classes that interest you. And this one is important because a lot of times when you're in law school, you're hearing people say, hey, oh, take this class, take negotiations, it's fun, or take environmental law, it's fun. Like, that's true. The class might be fun, but you have to really think about, will it be fun for you? Is it something that interests you? The teacher might be a great professor, he might make learning fun, but if you don't give a dang about environmental law and it's nowhere on the scale of something that interests you, then don't take it. Seriously, take classes that interest you, and make sure you take classes that interest you, even if it's not in the practice area that you're going to be in when you graduate. So for instance, for me, I wanted to do labor and employment law. I'm like, okay, when I graduate, I'm gonna do that. But I didn't limit my class options just to the labor and employment side of things. I saw like there was an entertainment law class, and even though I thought like that practice area was not attainable, I was like, this does interest me, and I took the class, and guess what? Today I'm in media law and entertainment. I would have never known that I even, you know, generally could be in this practice area if I didn't take the class. So that's tip number 1, take a class that interests you. Okay, tip number 2, take a bar exam class. And no, I'm not talking about registering for Barbary or Themis or Kaplan. No, not a bar prep course. I'm talking about a bar exam class. I'm talking about those topics or classes that are going to be in the bar exam. So I'm talking about family law, evidence, business associations. You don't want to go into your bar prep course and have no idea what they're talking about when they get to certain topics. You don't want to start learning from scratch when you're studying from the bar. So just being familiar with the law from these classes or courses will prepare you more for the bar exam. We just want to increase your chances for you to pass the bar exam. You don't want to do it again, trust me. Been there, done that, not fun, all right? So make sure you take a bar exam class. All right, class number 3. You need to take a travel class, okay? If you can travel in law school, why the heck not? At Northwestern in particular, they had international team project classes, which allowed students to travel to Mexico, Poland, Japan, Netherlands, Australia, just a whole bunch of places where they could learn about the law there. And it's like you're traveling for 2 weeks in this country, and you are, you know, essentially you're just analyzing legal issues over there abroad, and then just figuring out ways how to resolve the issue, and that allows you to travel. So if you're one who hasn't stepped out of the United States of America and you're like, oh, I don't know when I will, hello, you can travel and get a letter grade for it. So why not? And guess what? I don't know if you guys know this, because I didn't, but some particular law school clinics also have travel components built in their curriculum. So for instance, one of my friends, he enrolled in a law school clinic, and one of their assignments involved them going to Ethiopia for a couple weeks. And guess what? Did he have to pay for that trip? No, he didn't, because it was part of the curriculum. I'm telling you, they put him up in, you know, housing and paid for their flights. And he paid $0 to practice law as a student. So do not miss your chance to travel. Take a travel class. Be wise. Like, if you're gonna spend thousands of dollars in tuition and go into debt, might as well get something out of it, right? Get your money's worth. Okay, so for number 4, I recommend that you take a class where you can get additional certifications or licenses. I literally just mentioned that law school is so expensive. So again, if you're gonna spend so much money to go to law school, you better make it worth your while. And so law school, or different law schools, tend to offer classes that allow you to have additional certifications or licenses when you complete it. For example, again, I'm a Northwestern Wildcat, so I'm just gonna keep talking about them, but at Northwestern, I enrolled in a mediation clinic. This particular clinic granted students the opportunity to become a certified mediator upon completion. And yeah, we had to do a little more. Like, we had to do 40 hours of training outside of class, but 40 hours is definitely worth it when you think about it, because when I graduated from law school, I went across the stage with a JD and a mediation certificate. So really think about it. What additional certifications or licenses can you get in addition to your degree? Oh, and another thing, usually, at least for mediation, if I didn't decide to be certified at Northwestern and later on in life I was like, oh, I want to become a certified mediator, then I would have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars outside of my own money, because, you know, I'm doing it on my own. But through the law school curriculum, it's already paid for via your tuition. So be smart. Take advantage of what's being offered to you at your law school. So next, my recommendation is to take summer classes. And let me just tell you this, you are not taking summer classes because you failed. So get it out of your head. You will be successful, but you're taking summer classes so you can get ahead. And what I mean by this is, my 1L year, I observed and I noticed that a lot of 3Ls were not coming into school. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, where are they at? And I asked the 3L, I was like, you know, why is your class schedule so light? And he was like, because I took summer classes. So I was able to, you know, I was able to take credits where I can make my schedule so light during my 3L year, and that gives me more freedom to either work if I need to, travel and visit family and friends when I want to, and just, you know, just chill. And so I kid you not, I think he came in like twice a week, like Mondays and Tuesday, and then the rest of the week he had off. And a lot of students were doing that. So take some summer classes to decrease your class load if you are still in the city where your school is. Summer classes tend to also be more easy and more condensed. So it's like a couple weeks in comparison to a whole semester. So get it right. Take them summer classes and you won't regret it. Okay, so I briefly mentioned clinical or simulation courses earlier, but I highly recommend, as number 5, recommend you to take clinical or simulation courses. And the reason why you should take this is because you really get real life experience taking these courses. Like sitting in a classroom and listening to lectures about the law is way different than practicing law. So this taking a clinical course allows you to get your feet wet. You can be a little baby lawyer and do little lawyer things. Well, not little, but you get what I'm saying. Like you can help out with depositions, you can help out with discovery, you can help out with subpoenas, or you can research and try to find some strategy to help your supervising attorney win a case. I don't know, but I definitely recommend doing a clinic. And guess what? Clinics are totally worth it because they are worth a lot of credits, which means by default, it shortens the amount of classes that you have to take because the clinic is worth so much in credits. So take some clinics, and remember, take the ones that let you travel. Number 7, you know, I don't know if you noticed in this video, I've been very broad about the type of classes you should take. I'm not saying like, hey, go take evidence, you know? I'm letting you still have that option of choice. But this one, you don't got an option, okay? This one you need to take. This one is negotiation and contract drafting. They might be together at your law school, they might be separate in your law school. Whatever the case may be, you need to take it. Because when you are practicing law, you will constantly be negotiating for a specific outcome for your client. And if it's not your client, it's gonna be a family member. And if it's not your family member, it's gonna be a friend. Point is, you're constantly negotiating, and you need to really know those skills and strategies so you can be an effective negotiator. And honestly, you need to learn how to draft a contract as well, or be able to read contracts, because some point in your life you're going to have to come across a contract, and just knowing what to look for and the ins and outs of it is beneficial. So hello, take the course. And since I love you guys so much and I feel uber bad for disappearing for so many months, I'm gonna hit you with a bonus one. So number 8, make sure you take easy classes. And it's really self-explanatory. I'm talking about make sure you take those classes that will guarantee that you will get an A in that class. The truth of the matter is grades really do matter in law school, especially if you're trying to get into that big law or law firm life. Grades will be checked, and if you can take a class, boost your GPA, then by all means take it. And you're probably wondering, like, how on earth do I find that class? This is when you need to be social, boo. You need to seriously reach out to upperclassmen and just chat. Be like, hey, what class was easy? What professor gives out A's? And they will literally just tell you, like, hey, avoid this professor, he gives out C's, and avoid this professor if you really want an A, or take this class because it's fun and it's easy. And they just give out A's just because, like, you get an A, you get an A, you get an A, you get an A. So take some easy class, because we really want to boost your GPA and put you in the best predicament to get a great job when you graduate. And this is it. That's the end of my legal video. Thank you for tuning in. I am very honored to be your advisor for the remaining of the year. But no, seriously, I will be back with more tips for you guys about law school. And comment below if you have any questions, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, toodles!
Look at all the pointers on my AP. Don't you like it when it stops?